Good morning, families and distinguished guests. My name is Staff Sergeant Jon Stevens, former member of Team 1, and Trevor's element leader for the recent Afghanistan deployment. First off, I'd like to start off by thanking Lisa Blaylock for asking me to speak today. It's truly a great honor, something I will cherish for the rest of my life. The last couple of days have been great, meeting Trevor's family. It was a great opportunity and helped me understand him a little bit more. All of you guys. As the pastor said, he kind of almost stole my story. The first time I heard Trevor's name was myself, Master Sergeant Tom Saunders, and Gunner Sergeant Eric Heckerman were looking how to set the team for the upcoming deployment. And all the while we were kind of secretly cherry picking all the talent from our individual training course. Sergeant Blaylock's name was the first name out of the cadre's mouth that a kid to pick up because of his talent. But it came with a stern recommendation. It said the kid is extremely talented, but the issue is he knows he's extremely talented. So, me being a young element leader at the time, I was gracious to give an opportunity to train and mentor and lead as possible, what we refer to as a leadership challenge. So the day he checked into the team room after finishing the Special Forces Engineer course, I knew exactly who he was before any introductions were done due to his loud, vocal and cocky attitude. Then I knew what the schoolhouse or what the guys at the schoolhouse were talking about. Once the teams are assembled, all the enlisted guys usually sit down as elements once they break down with the teams. And at this point, it's the element leader's time to kind of let the junior guys know how the workers are going to go and what's expected out of them. It's kind of initial counseling that we usually do. And at this point, usually the younger guys are a little nervous. They don't know what to say, so they're quiet. They're a little bit more in receive mode. While I was giving my spiel for the most part, my pitch, and everyone else is in receive mode, Trevor has a pen and paper out and continually, I don't know, about 4 or 5 times he interrupts me, asking me about administrative supplies, how he can find open purchase request forms on our shared drive. And at that point, I stopped after being interrupted and looked at him, because we don't really know each other at this point, and asked him if he had ever been punched in the face for talking to me. He looks back at me with a blank face and said, in response, "No, why? Is that a new guy thing?" Needless to say, after that, we had a pretty one-way conversation establishing the back in order. Throughout the workup prior to deployment, I've never seen a critical skills operator learn, adapt, execute at the speed that Trevor did. It was to the point where I started to worry about my own job and not letting others. I'm going to say some short stories about Trevor, because I don't think us as operators in the military we share enough with our families. And I think this will help paint at least the military side of Trevor. And his absolute complete dedication to this organization. During our last workup we're up at Fort Bragg conducting our usual close quarter battle training. During one of the runs, I witnessed he made a mistake in one of the houses as we're shooting through the house, and he didn't notice it. I made a mental note of it, and then I planned a debrief on the side afterwards after we were done with the run. And I walked up to the side of the house, back around, so it was just me and him, personal, and explained to him, hey, it's not uncommon to be counseled as a young kid coming through and learning how we work. So I explained to him his what he had done wrong, and he almost started to tear up, and he was quiet. I didn't realize what was going on as I was counseling him, and it wasn't because he was sad. He was floored that he could ever make a bad decision, a mistake, and not completely achieve amongst better than his peers at all times. So he kind of caught me off guard. But needless to say, he has thick skin, and he took it in stride and then continued to progress. So once we arrived in country, I really started noticing Trevor's talents. He seamlessly transitioned with his counterparts and began using his charm and intellect to allow the team to live like kings during our stay. Trevor juggled an insurmountable amount of tasks, all while assisting and planning for his brilliant operation cycle. During the nights prior, including the last minute checks before lunchtime, he maintained a calm, cool, collected attitude, continued to make jokes, and ease everyone's nerves. I am absolutely envious of this attribute. As the Sun members, to include myself, that impose unneeded stress on themselves and struggle to relax before going into the fray. I learned more from Trevor on that deployment than I was ever able to provide him as a mentor and a leader. He always knew the plan, he knew where he was going, he knew what was happening around him, and he always made sound decisions and game plans when things got dangerous. I never questioned or doubted his tactical ability when it was time to do the ugly side of our job. For those of us left who have shared dirt with Trevor, I will tell you that he's at home in a gunfight, and you've never really seen a real Trevor smile until bullets are flying. Even after the work was done for every mission, he would work until he was delirious, prep for the next mission, wake up early the next day, and make sure our quality of life was maintained. I envy these traits, and I wish I possessed a fraction of the talent he had for this profession. When Trevor had some time to himself, which is very rare, him and another Marine decided to make hammers. It was kind of like his project. And they closely resemble kind of a rock hammer. And he gave them out to each one of the teams, and we used them and carried them with us on missions to usually to chip through walls or whatever we need to use it for, mostly breaching type stuff. When he issued me my first one, he comes to my room, and then I guess I had a propensity to maybe forget something every once in a while. I don't know how that could possibly happen. But he comes to my room and says, he issues me my hammer, my first one, and he looks at me and says, I swear to God, if you leave this in the wall next to the breach, you're not getting another one. So I shrugged that off and kind of laughed and didn't take it too personally, because why would I ever make a bush league mistake like that? So the hammer lasted just about under a week. Myself and another Marine were out on operation, or chipping away on a wall to place an explosive charge to make a hole in order to gain some situational awareness in a blind spot in the compound that we're at. So after I was done chipping away, placed the explosive charge, I stuck the sharp end of the hammer into the wall, and then I pulled the safeties on the initiation device. Gives us about 20 seconds to get away from it and then get some cover. So as I'm doing this and I'm pulling the safeties, I just say in my head, don't leave this hammer. So pull safeties, we get behind some cover, and I'm doing the countdown. We got about 20 seconds. So when I get to about 10 seconds, I reach the portion of my gear where I carry the hammer, and it's not there. So I wait for the detonation to go. We go check the hole, and then realize that the hammer's not there anymore. At this point, I'm dreading the next radio transmission that I have to make. He's on the other side, so I call over to Trevor and I say, hey, the hole's good. We can see on the other side. Everything's good over here. And then I asked him politely to roll to another channel, trying to avoid some further embarrassment. So he rolls another channel, and I go, hey Trevor, you're not going to believe what happened. And then immediately he responds, let me guess. He's like, he said let me guess, he left the hammer right next to the breach. And me, dredging the next transmission, said yes. I was chipping away at it, wasn't paying attention, and I left it there. He comes back and goes, you're not getting another one. This is why we can't have nice things. So, later that morning, the word got around that I made this mistake, and then as we're walking around, we had a couple guys ended up finding the hammer about 300 meters away from the compound we're at, which is beyond serviceable, so we left it there. Later on that week, Trevor expressed his disgust for my amateur move, and he handed me another hammer because that's the type of person he was, selfless, committed, and an absolute asset. Trevor was a model teammate, and continue to display perfection in all aspects of his duties, as long as his cocksure attitude is kept in check from time to time. Since then, I've recently moved to another team due to personal reasons. I've had a hard time leading that team due to my career, as about half of it as under the Marsac organization. And I've moved around a couple different jobs and been overseas quite a few times. And I've never experienced a group of guys that tight as that team was, as 8231 was. The amount of talent that we had on that team was surpassed anything I've ever seen. This is my fourth team actually under Marsac, so it was extremely difficult to leave that team. But it was time for me to go for what I had going on. I don't understand why these things happen to such great people as Trevor. I really don't. I ponder these questions since I've seen my first loss during these conflicts. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, this stuff, it haunts me, it keeps me up at night, keeps asking me, keeps me asking that question, why wasn't I on that Blaylock with them? That was my team. I loved every single one of those men. I don't know if I'll ever find peace that I wasn't with my team when tragedy struck. However, what has got me here today and what I hold on to now is that if this event had to happen, Trevor, Ford, Tom, Marcus, Carrie, Liam, Andy would not want to be have been in any other place, in any other situation, and with any other people. They gave their last breaths to their brothers who they loved. So where do we go from here? There's still work to be done. I'll let you know when I figure it out, and I'll share with you how I came to peace with this whole situation. But I can tell you right now, it's going to be a long struggle for myself. But I can promise you this, us as an organization will always remember, honor, and celebrate, and take care of our own and their families. And brothers are never really gone until we stop talking about them. So keep the stories up. I'm going to close on this. I've been lucky enough by our leadership here to be able to read a portion of his award citation. It will be presented to his wife at a later date in an official manner as we do things in tradition. So what I'm going to read is just what we call the summary of action. And I can attest to everything that's about to be said here because I'm actually the one who wrote it and was there when all these actions happened.